DFZRadio.com.
Feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Chefs in the kitchen and they chopping up hydro. The hydro chefs in the building and they rolling up hydro. Hydro's in the kitchen and they cooking it up. Hydro, let's go. Hydro's in the studio. Chop it up. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high.
All right, 5 o'clock, the kitchen's open. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis, now proudly broadcast on High Times TV. We're the only show offering edible reviews, edible news, giveaways from the top brands in the industry, and we'll even get you some gardening and cooking advice. You ain't got to pay nothing but attention. Live right now, all up in your ear hole. Every week, it's our duty to bring you these guests in the news, and we got a good show lined up for you today. So, a lot of shit going on in the world. So, before we get into that, you know, we want to introduce our guest for the evening. We got Aloft Magazine coming on, and they're doing everything in publication, keeping people educated. They're keeping people medicated, and they got good articles on politics and everything you need to know about cannabis. And we've also got Southeast Edibles calling in. We've also got Babinka Treats calling in, fresh off of her stay in Instagram jail. You know they deleted her again, Saint?
I seen that.
That's fucking unbelievable.
I gotta go follow her again.
Yeah, shout out to Babinka. It's a hard job out there. Everyone's getting deleted out there.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll keep you up on the news today, and we're gonna head on over to Massachusetts, Saint. They're talking about marijuana delivery services and consumption cafes are coming to Massachusetts.
Nice.
So the regulators voted on Tuesday to allow marijuana home delivery services and on-site consumption cafes to operate in the state. The decision by Massachusetts Cannabis Control Commission was made with a vote of 4-1 by the commissioners at a meeting on Tuesday morning. Before home delivery or home cannabis can begin, marijuana consumption cafes can open. Potential business owners will be required to complete agreements with the host community where they plan to operate before being licensed by the state. A process that could take months, if not longer. Typical bureaucracy. But Cannabis Control Commission Chairman Steve Hoffman said that he believes that the regulations drafted to govern cannabis delivery services and consumption cafes take the interest of various stakeholders into account. So we feel like we've got a good balance between trying to meet the will of the voters but recognizing that there are concerns from a public health and a public safety standpoint, said Hoffman. But Commissioner Jennifer Flanagan, they got a lot of Irish names out there in Boston. That was awesome.
Flanagan,
Flanagan and Hoffman?
Napkin, Flanagan.
He's using way too many Flanagans. Who cast the sole dissent vote, expressed concerns about public safety lounges and public use of marijuana on site. And I'm going to do her voice.
I think it's too early for social cafe consumption licenses,
She told reporters.
That was Flanagan's voice. Yeah.
I think we need to stand up in this industry, making sure that the retail and cultivation and micro businesses all get priority before we start to do home delivery, which is also, you know, that's a good point too. Before you start doing the home delivery, let's make sure we have these actual on-site consumption places figured out. So social equity applicants also to receive priority under the new rules approved by the commission. For the first 2 years, both licenses for marijuana delivery services and cannabis consumption cafes will be reserved for applicants who qualify in social inequity and economic empowerment applications, which include business owners owned by minorities, those convicted of drug offenses, and members of communities disproportionately affected by the war on drugs. Now, I mean, I don't know about you growing up, Saint, but I was told, like, this whole shit could not crack off. There was never going to be a job in the cannabis industry. There was never going to be a job outside of cooking for me.
Right.
And I got caught with pot, like, a lot. Like, I wasn't fast as a kid, so like the cops would pull up and my thing was like, oh, I'll just be hella honest with them. Like, yeah, I got some weed, fool. You're not going to arrest me, right? Like, boom, juvenile hall. Okay, that sucked. No more being honest with cops. Next time I tried to hide it, right? I was hiding it in my waistband.
Right.
Well, can we search you? I didn't know my fucking rights. I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, sure, you're never going to find it in my waistline. Boom, cop was down my pants like a Catholic priest. Full of fucker was quick.
Damn.
I'm like, damn, that's twice. Juvenile hall again, caught with weed. So I'm starting to think this social inequity thing, I might be able to apply for that. It's not just strictly for minorities; it's for people getting busted over and over and been held back by cannabis. And
I got kicked out of 7th grade.
Dude, ruined people's lives back in the day over cannabis.
I went to Somerset and I turned my life around after that.
That sounded like a fucking Passages commercial. I was addicted to bath salts and got kicked out of the 7th grade.
I mean, I started smoking way more, so I turned my life around.
So that's what we did. So staying in Massachusetts, they're announcing that the annual fee for medical marijuana patients is going to be eliminated. So Massachusetts medical marijuana patients will no longer have to pay the $50 annual fee for a patient registration card.
Sweet.
The fee will be eliminated under the new rule governed by the medical marijuana, and it was approved Tuesday by the Cannabis Control Commission. Dude, that Cannabis Control Commission in Massachusetts be doing work.
They approving it.
They get shit done.
Hell yeah.
Only other state moving faster than that is Las Vegas, but they're good at regulating shit because they got that gaming, right? Mm-hmm. So we're gonna head on over to I'm not sure what state this is, but it was in Spain actually. It was in Madrid. The guy got caught with 1,000 cannabis plants by the local police, and he was like, "Nah, man, it's mint," and it didn't work. Otherwise, this wouldn't be a story.
Right.
But I don't have to go into the whole article to tell you that cannabis plant and mint plants got a lot different of a smell. Mm-hmm. So that's not a good defense. I always like the Pot Brothers at Law defense is just shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you get pulled over, just shut the fuck up. I'm not discussing my day. Am I being detained? All right, then I'm out.
Right,
shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
And speaking of shutting the fuck up, the House has told everyone hating on the banking situation to shut the fuck up. This is brand new breaking news just in right now. So the House has passed a historic cannabis banking bill with backing from everyone. This was unilaterally. The House of Representatives voted Wednesday to let federally insured banks work with cannabis shops and related companies in states that have legalized marijuana, making this the first ever federal vote on a standalone cannabis bill. With backing from Southern California representatives and nearly half of the House of Republicans, the Democratic-controlled chamber approved a law that supporters argue will boost public safety, improve transparency, and ease the financial crutch facing the multi-billion-dollar cannabis industry. The House passed the legislation 321 to 103 vote, even though the cannabis remains illegal under federal law. The law, known as the Safe Banking Act, still must be debated in the Republican-controlled Senate, where it could be amended, and it's unclear if Trump will even be around anymore, will sign any version on his desk. But the Democrats said that they've added a provision to the bill that they hope will bring some GOP senators back around. Backers also hope that the growing public supporters to legalization of recreational marijuana and the use of cannabis might sway senators up for a re-election in 2020. So basically, if you don't vote yes on tree for 2020, you're not going to get re-elected. That's what happens to you senators up. So this is a big news. This trumps all the Trump news and everything. The banking news, this is huge. This is one of the dominoes to fall, and that's why it's the top story today, because this sets this kicks the door wide open, really. If you think that big cannabis isn't drooling right now, this was this symbol. This was the time. This was the Boston Massacre, where things started changing for cannabis. So remember today, the banking bill was passed, and when you notice things start changing, and for the better or for the worse, a lot of it's going to come back to this day, to this decision, and what it opens up. So now it's going to be argued at the House of Representatives, and if this goes through, it'll take one more step, and we'll be able to have cannabis companies doing business with banks and national banks, which is It's a strange new
You know
world.
they're going to want the money, so they're going to work it out. As soon as everything's on right, they're going to do it.
And then it takes a toll not just on that, but also on the hydro industry too. A lot of these gardening stores, they get their banking shut down just for doing business with people not even knowing what kind of plants they're growing. You don't know. We don't know what they're growing.
Yeah,
if
just for having
I sell you some soil, it doesn't matter.
Or whatever.
Yeah, and if you're associated with hydroponics, it's an automatic. They're going to shut your bank account down.
Exactly.
So this is a huge step in the right direction.
Huge.
It's just one step though, and there's going to be multiple dominoes that need to fall for that to happen. But we're here to keep you up on the news, and we've got a good show lined up for you. We're going to be talking Aloft. Aloft is a nationally publicated magazine with lots of information on cannabis. We've got Babinka calling in, and we've also got East Side Edibles calling in. So we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to take a dab, and we're going to give away a magic butter machine. So call in now, 562-653-0707.
That's right.
You can call in to win. DFZ Radio, farmtotablecannabis.com.
Smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. Yeah, we so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. Yeah, we so high. Big split smoker, don't need no roller. So roll my doja, I can first show ya. Big stage odor, Christmas cola. Sticky as the growers, we gon' teach more up. We gon' see more bud, pockets on forest. Yeah, they cheer for us, cause we got more of what they want in store plus. If I can't fly, I'ma puff till I soar up. Good day for 'em. The way I run these trees, you can say I run forest. Yeah, I run for it, run toward it. Haters can't ignore it, all the ladies love it. It's so euphoric, they so blatantly adore. Bumping all the cuts as we cruising to the night. Like that cut from DJ quick, cause it's going down tonight. Just sliding at the split so I can hit it while I ride. And shorty looking swift, I'ma hit it while I drive. We so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. Yeah, we so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. Yeah, we so high.
Fire up another split. Take a hit, show life I'm fucking with. And I'd be lying if I said my life is perfect. I'm hurting inside enough for me to catch a burden. Lungs turning black, smoke till my chest is burning. Can't hold back, I'm high till the morning. We brew money, it's the only thing that levels me. You can call it remedy, but never gets the best of me. Twist to get it lifted while I'm shipping to the bitches. Got me feeling like the riches, I'm on it, so get with it. Flipping on that killer soul, smoking with it, privilege. Take it high, then the gift is so don't mind if I'm tripping. Gotta keep my hustle up, so I smoke the top shell. If your lungs ain't strong enough, smoke with somebody else. I need that good, burning like wood should. I good wood, burning like good wood should. So high, can't touch the ground. Look at me, I'm Superman. I wanna go up, light the blunt, light it up and have so much fun. So high, can't touch the ground. Look at me, I'm Superman. I wanna go up, light the blunt, light it up and have so much fun.
We so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. Yeah, we so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. Yeah, we so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. Yeah, we so high, smoking all the time, rolling all the time, chopping all the time. Yeah, we so high.
All right, we're back. DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis. I'm taking a dab, and while we were hanging out, the homegirl Babinka called in, and man, it's just the same old thing, man. I gotta catch up. We gotta show some love to our peeps out there. She just got out of Instagram jail. She's like triple OG now. What's up, Babinka? Welcome to Farm to Table Cannabis.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta put it through.
One more time.
Yeah,
there we go.
there we go.
Babinka, you're live on the air.
There she is.
There she is. Welcome, Babinka. And she can't hear
She
us.
ain't say nothing?
Nope, she can't hear us. I think it's too quiet.
Babinka.
Michelle, can you hear me?
I can barely hear you guys. It sounds like you guys are really far away.
Well, we can hear you a lot better now. How's that? So we just got the horrible news that you just got out of Instagram jail again, and they deleted your account.
Yeah. Well, actually, this is the first time it got deleted. And the other times are just like pictures that got reported and then they got taken down, which were just like pictures of food that got reported. So
Where's all this hate come from? She got the cake, and y'all can't handle the cake.
I have no idea.
You know what's weird is you had just secured all your business for the holidays, right? Like I remember that was like one of the last posts you did was the holiday season's booking up. Get in your request.
Well, that was the last post that I posted, and I guess that was the post that pissed off whoever hates me.
Hey,
It was like, all right, bitch, you're booked, now you're deleted.
Like somebody saw that and they're like, "Damn, this chick's getting business, and she's making cakes and shit." And she's like, "I want the cake," and she's like, "You can't handle the cake." So what's from here now? Where can they follow your new account? I know you took your personal account and turned it to your business account, but go ahead and give everyone out there in DFZ Radio listener land your Instagram.
So it would be a Babinka cake. So same thing, just instead of treats, it's cake.
See.
Babinka cake.
If you've been a listener of Farm to Table Cannabis, Babinka's been one of our, day one guests. She's been in the studio multiple times, many, many moons. We've been talking about confections, but, she does one of the most unique presentations. She does the donuts, she does the ube cakes, but she does them to order and customized. So if someone wanted to get one of these customized cakes or donuts or have you at their event, how do they get a hold of you?
They can DM me on Instagram, or they could just email me at Babinka Treats at yahoo.com.
Now, how long you been doing this?
It'll be 4 years in November.
So 4 years of baking, 4 years of medicating, and for people that never heard, what is your preferred infusion method?
I do shatter infused coconut oil.
See, the coconut oil, it's just more versatile. Why that?
Because it has more. The oil has the most fat in it. So the more fat, the more THC it'll absorb.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay, I get it. She's educating us tonight on that too. So if they want to get their cake, they reach out, and then what's the customization factor? Can you do like anything under the sun, or is there some script that you got to stick to?
Not really. The only thing that I could say that I haven't been able to do yet was some, like crazy fondant work.
Okay, I see. Like, like the unicorn horns and shit like that.
I could do the unicorn horn.
Holy shit, we got unicorn horns. You know how rare that is on a cake?
Rare.
Medicated unicorn horn. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's as good as bath salts for some people.
Exactly.
So, Babinka, you've been doing this for 4 years. You've been on the show like 4 times now. What's the next event you're going to be at where people can get a tasting? I know you do the cannabis infused weddings. You do a lot of that stuff. But what's your next gig?
The next one is going to be in November. It's a cannabis oneness healing that Illusions is putting together with Phoenix Elbow.
Okay, yeah, Phoenix is the truth. Is that Jen Phoenix or is that another one?
You know what? I haven't met her.
Okay.
The girl, and she does like a lot of like.
Yeah, we having a little bit of phone issues because we just got our phones set back up, but we always appreciate everything you do, educating people on cooking with cannabis, and we're going to give a magic butter machine out in your honor, and all they have to do is go follow Babinka tonight, go follow Babinka Cake, and you can win a magic butter machine. just for following, and call in. Let us know you followed, and we're going to get you taken care of. Farm to Table Cannabis. We like to support our chefs doing it for the right reason.
Yeah.
And Babinka's been doing it for all the right reasons. She's been keeping people medicated and, with that smile on their face with that coconut oil. So big shout out to you, Babinka. I hope you can still hear us. And go follow Babinka Cakes, and watch out for the Instagram police, because they are out there, and it's for real. They're lurking. So we've got Aloft in the building. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to get them settled, and then we're going to talk about publications and cannabis and marketing and reading material. Print's not dead. We're here to tell you about it. Farm to Table Cannabis, DFZRadio.com. Nice to...
Riding down the west coast, candy paint dripping cause I just got a fresh coat. California raised me, an LA baby, the Chevrolet raisin, scraping on Dayton's, riding down Rosecrans, get with the program, call me the drone man, the hydros potens. Got your eyes low, lower than the ocean, just west coasting through the coast, with the potion, and the best dro to smoke. The baddest bitches, girls in bikinis with ass titties. The hustle game easy, you just can't believe till you see me on TV. Drive down the wrong street, might see the tech smoke. Hop in the ride and let's go to the west coast. This life is like a movie. You meet a model bitch, then you fuck her like a groupie. California, 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 so don't be amazed. Same nigga, same flow, same mind frame. I'm all about the Gucci. Fuck minimum wage, cruising through these Cali streets, smoking on this OG. Cash rules everything around me, I need more cream. West Coast, get it in. What the fuck you think? Saying I'm riding with you, really though, this money in the bank. E3 hotter than the California forecast. Burning up these tracks, nigga, I need more cash. Yeah, I'm a bona fide hustler. Fuck with my family or cash and I'ma cut ya. Real G's get it, that's only the obvious. Go against us, you know you facing the consequence. I love my state, but I really hate the politics. Better keep stepping, buddy boy, in a pile of shit. Yeah, in a pile of shit. E3, get it in, nigga, I'm live as shit. 3, 2, 1. As the world keeps spinning, like gold 100 spokes, engine running, Chevy gunning down the coast, just let it roll. Who doesn't love to see a 6-4 hop down the block, banging Easy E and Pac? Motherfuck the cops, got drove in my ride, but I ain't even tripping. It's another summer night and I'm about to get the dipping. It's California A, got some beautiful women. Gotta see it for yourself, it's such a beautiful vision. Palm trees, palm weed, won't you ride with me? West Coast in, floating through these Cali streets, cruising down the boulevard in the late night. Sunset to the daylight, we take flight. Lights, camera, action, fast cars and jewelry, models and groupies, we film in a movie. It's a motion picture, everybody's a celebrity. Won't you take a picture? It's a motion picture, everybody's a celebrity. Won't you take a picture?
Welcome back, Farm to Table Cannabis. We got a special intro. Nancy Extraordinaire just walked in, the co-hostess with the mostest. So we'll be joined by Ms. Nancy for the rest of the evening. Everybody give a big DFZ Radio warm welcome to Nancy.
Hey.
All right, and the guest of the evening, Aloft Magazine, just walked in. We're going to let you get settled in for a second. take a rip or whatnot. We've got another big introduction to make, and but before any of that, let's pick up where we left off with Babinka. Babinka, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Way better. I think we got a better line now. That's great. But we were just saying, man, the Instagram police is no joke right now. Like they are not hesitating to erase people when things go down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure why I got taken down because I don't even have anything but cakes, desserts, and donuts on there. You know what I mean? So I want to believe that someone's just been repeatedly reporting me until Instagram was like, okay, this profile is getting reported a lot. Let's just take it down. And so now I'm going through a whole appeal right now. Like I'm having to send them my LLC.
So let me ask you this: what's it like dealing with Instagram when they delete
I
you?
actually do run a legitimate business.
And so, what are the steps you have to take? Is there a phone number? Like, there's a lot of folks out there. As Alex lights up this joint. What's the
There's no phone. There's no phone number. There's not even an email. Luckily, the CEO of Daily High Club sent me a link that helped him get his Instagram back after so many times of being deleted. So there's just other companies that have offered me, like what they did. So I've just been filling out different forms, filling out, for appeals and stuff like that everyone has been sending me. So, and I do it every day. I do it like 2 to 3 times a day because they say you have to be very persistent. You can't just send one request.
I mean, you are pretty sure it's haters doing this. I mean, there's no public policy that Instagram puts out that they're just erasing, infused edible companies or anyone doing, anything with cannabis. So we have to assume it's haters. And you know what that tells us is that you must be doing it right because
I guess so.
Until they start hating on you, you ain't doing shit.
I was wondering.
I didn't even think I had that many people or one person that had that much time on their hands that really disliked me to do this much.
You must be honored, yeah, to have a little hate thrown at you. That's got to be a big badge of honor. I think our co-host Ms. Nancy, you had a question?
I was just wondering, is there anything that your followers can do in contacting Instagram? Is any of that?
One more time?
Is there anything your followers can do in contacting Instagram?
Oh, my followers.
Yeah. What can we do?
I was also told that they could go to the option where you can report a problem, and then you can select any option there, and then you can type, bring back, and then at Babinka Treats. So, I mean, if all 11K wants to go online and do that for me, that'd be awesome. I don't know how effective that is, but I was also told that, other people could do that as well.
All right. Yeah. So that's what you do. If you want to help Babinka, you write them and go follow her. That's one of the things you can do right now is if you're a classic follower and you didn't know she got erased, then go follow now and get your cakes done by Babinka because she's doing it for the right reasons. We wish you much success, and we're looking forward to getting you in the studio live on the mic one of these nights. Maybe you tell us about this new these wedding cakes that are available.
Yeah, for sure.
So keep on doing it for the right reasons, and as always, thanks for supporting Farm to Table Cannabis.
Always, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we've got another special guest today. In addition to Aloft Magazine, we're going to take you into the world of chocolatiers, and this is a unique situation. So I'm very proud to introduce Lauren Mink from East Side Edibles. Can you hear me, Lauren?
I can hear you.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming on Farm to Table Cannabis. I know it's a little bit later where you're at right now. You're on the East Coast.
Thanks for having me. No worries.
So, right out the rip, the reason why it stuck out to me what you guys are doing, you come from a family of chocolatiers.
Yes. So we actually are a group that we began dabbling about 2 years ago in R&D, knowing that we wanted to do some CBD with a chocolatier that we've been working with, and he's third generation and top 30 in Forbes talented, and it's a cool story, actually. His grandfather escaped World War II, and he ended up in Venezuela in a city called the Big Cacao, learning how to trade cocoa beans, and then he went to the Dominican Republic.
Amazing.
And his son took over the recipe and handed it to his son, and that's our chocolatier. So the really cool thing about our company, not only are we gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, we've got all full-spectrum CBD, but the cool part is even companies like Hershey's actually buy their bars and melt them down into confections, and all of our confections are 100% handmade from bean to bite.
So these are not melted chocolates from a master, stock of chocolate meltdown. You guys are actually sourcing your own ingredients, putting them together by hand, sourcing your own CBD, and infusing it into the chocolate.
Yes.
So that's
all
an extra step you guys are doing,
cold
right?
pressed from organic farms. And we have no artificial flavors in any of our food, no artificial color. We have a warehouse in South Florida, and everything is brought over, including the cocoa. Everything down to the gandua, which is like the hazelnuts that we use, are hand ground with stone and hand and machine right on site.
Now, there's a history of chocolate and cannabis. It's not something that people just stumbled upon in the 1800s or in the 1950s and just started making brownies. I mean, this is a classic pairing. There's been proof that the Aztecs have done this. There's been proof that Egyptians have done this all the way back into the far, far east. Why do you think chocolate and cannabis is such a good pairing, in your opinion?
So, in my opinion, when we first started looking at this, we actually looked at that and we decided that we wanted to do something that was an experience. We wanted opulence. We wanted indulgence. We really wanted to take the purest cacao that we knew would be delicious with this great thing that was now becoming legalized. Now we have 14 states, so we can send CBD back and forth. And our actual parent company, we're going to begin to produce, hopefully, THC infusions as well.
Now that's
we knew that this was something that's been done for hundreds of years, but you don't see it. And we just saw such a huge gap for it, and we wanted to be able to bring quality.
And that's one of the things I think that separates you guys apart from some of these other just melt your stuff down companies. We gotta take those down. There we go. I thought that was your microphone, and I realized that was our in-studio microphone. But that's what separates you guys from some of the other, I guess we'll just call them knockoff folks, because they're just melting chocolates from the store. You guys are actually sourcing your own ingredients. Now, do you grow your own CBD? Are you growing your own hemp? How's that work?
We actually don't. We work with a farm. We work with a farm in Oregon.
But that's something to be proud of, too, because you guys can source your own ingredient knowing what goes into it. A lot of CBD right now, unfortunately, it's coming from China or off of our mainland. And, I'm a firm believer in supporting your local grower. And there's a reason why these laws are becoming, more and more prevalent, and making cannabis available to farmers too. It's a changing industry, and it's changing the landscape of farming and agriculture. So big ups to you for sourcing your own ingredients.
So something we're really actually super passionate about is that we want to select all of our ingredients that not only are the purest form and the healthiest and the best tasting ingredients, but we want them ethical. We want farmers that are paid a living wage. We want farms that care about their people. We want good culture.
Sustainable,
so, we're really happy that we're able to get a pesticide-free farm, get really, really great CBD. And you mentioning that a lot of people don't know what goes into it, we actually want you guys to know. So on literally every single can of product, there is a QR code to scan that takes you right to our lab reports.
So everything right there, the COAs, all your analysis, you want to know about it, it's available through the East Side Edibles. Now, if people want to pick up your products, how do they get them?
So they are online at southeastedibles.com, and you guys actually have a code. Hydro Chef is 20% off for anybody who wanted to go and try it.
So you hear that right now? They got the Hydro Chef code. Go over, pick up some CBD chocolate, put together a basket, go heal some loved ones, turn some people on to some healing, because it's about starting off slow and then, working your way into your comfortable dose. And there's so much healing that can be done with CBD. So we salute you guys for...
And we do actually have 15 SKUs. So we have... Our doses come in 60 milligrams, 240, and 300 milligrams.
And
that's for our bites and our spreads, like Nutella and our almond spread.
So just for a quick, just before we go, we want to pick your brain on an infusion technique. If we're going to give a magic butter machine away right now in honor of you guys and Babinka's erased Instagram, if you were listening. So what is your favorite infusion technique when you're infusing chocolate for the person that's about to win this magic butter machine?
Oh, so ours.
Ooh, the dog likes coconut oil. Yeah,
hey.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
I think the best technique, honestly, we like to infuse with butter, obviously the best way, and flour. And when you get that butter super hot and it's like an organic butter, and you put it right into, I think my favorite is a ganache.
Okay, yeah.
So you just temper some chocolate, whip in some cream, pour in a little bit of that butter, and you can put that on cake and brownies, Irish car bomb brownies. I think that's the best way to get a little bit of a green into you.
you get a little bit of the best of both worlds there too with the butter. So you're doing it. You're infusing it. The CBD. You're keeping people healing. Now, are there any events you're going to be attending where people can try your product?
We are. So we're going to be doing a few pop-up events in New York City and in Florida. We were actually just at an event in Delray Beach for the OG Delray. That was a huge event, the first OG Delray Fleet for all handmade product, including edibles. So we're going to be updating everybody on all of our events that are coming up on Instagram.
So keep on Eastside Edibles so you can learn about what events coming up and where you can get hooked up with some tastes. And is there anybody you want to give a shout out to before we give this magic butter machine away?
Just giving a shout out to everybody who is in the field fighting for CBD and edibles to be across the country. They're doing so much good, and we're so proud of what we make. And I just want to thank everybody who is trying products, sharing product, educating on where to buy responsibly, and it's super important.
Yep, source your own ingredients, otherwise grow your own or buy from Eastside Edibles. So go check them out at Eastside Edibles.
Eat Southeast Edibles.
Sorry, Eat Southeast Edibles. Got to get that eat in there.
Yep.
At Eat Southeast.
Eat Southeast Edibles at
There you go.
Instagram or southeastedibles.com.
There we go.
Oh,
Much
yeah.
respect to you, Lauren. Thank you for doing it for all the right reasons. Let's give a magic butter machine away in your honor, and
do it.
a big Farm to Table Cannabis thank you. All right.
She said thank you.
So, who just won a magic butter machine? You're live on the air, Farm to Table Cannabis. State your name.
Oh, you gotta hit it one more time. There you go.
What state you from?
Washington State.
There we go. Say it with authority. So, what are you medicating on up there in Washington State?
Flowers. I'm a gardener, so just all my own stuff. Want to get into edibles.
That's what's up. So I think you're right in line with this magic butter machine, my guy. So do you got a gardening question or a cooking with cannabis question, or you want to pass on this machine?
Well, it's how to make like really hardcore like edibles.
Hardcore.
Nothing, I like all that butter stuff and everything like that, but I want to be able to like pop a couple while I'm at work.
Well, so what goes in is what comes out, my friend. So if you're a good gardener, then the product that's going in is going to be good product coming out. So remember, if you're pulling it down and you're making extract out of it, you're going to want to let that stuff get in the refrigerator. Don't let it sit out and oxidize. Otherwise, you're going to get that brown boo-boo looking butter. You want the higher quality butter that's got that good flavor. Freeze your trim, freeze your material. Don't let it sit out and get hot, all right? All right.
Would you use butter, or would you try to do something else like a hard candy or something?
Coconut oil works great for candies. The butter is good for chocolates and baking, and then you can always make a glycerin tincture or something like that with alcohol also.
Okay.
So shoot me your address, man. We're gonna get you sent out, and all I want is a sound clip from you. Who's hooking you up every Wednesday night with the farm to table grow gear and cooking gear?
Man, DFC Rage, Hydro Chef.
There we go. We got you taken care of, bro.
You
just made a big old smile on this fat boy's face. So we'll be back. We got Aloft in the studio. We're gonna talk about publications. We're gonna take 1 minute break. Listen to this song. Saint's gonna play some 5-6-2 music,
That's
and we'll
right.
be back.
DFZRadio.com. Check out this track right here by Addiction Team. It's called The Anthem. Let's go.
We hustle hard. Team ADX Anthem. Hey, what these niggas want from me? Haters wanna eat now, you never get lunch from me. Get off my tailcoat, get off Addiction Team. Team mean niggas, Team Green like it's Listerine. Don't cross the squad, man. We get them off, man. We on the front court shooting, you just a ball fan. I'm on the top back, y'all do it all bad. Grind on the regular, tell competitors all bad. Test the team, homie. Watch you fall flat. Don't want the fame, but the change, I need all that. Hustlers get your guap up, rappers get your props up. Cause sky is the limit and we got heaven on lockup. Back down to earth, street swerving down Atlantic. Long Beach riding to death, we straight smashing. This is for my family, this is for the masses. This ADX Anthem in case anyone asks me. Oh, taking this shit head on. In the streets till 6 in the morning. Niggas don't want no ruckus. Tell me who running with these shots up, boys. We stay hustling. Catch me in the booth till the night. Streets holding tight. Grind for my life on a license. Niggas don't want no ruckus. Bring the bullshit and we'll be dumping. Boy, we stay hustling.
Hey, I rep my team, rep my city, and rep my scene. I'm down for mine, on the grind all the time, like overtime. I ride to the death, can't do it like this, so don't try to step. Can't move it like this, so don't try to test. Got shotters on the side of me, right in my left, cause we do it so swift, we do it so sick, and we ain't gonna stop. We got money to get, we got honeys to flip, got the streets on lockdown, so why would we stop now? We holding the spot down. Sour Diesel Hennessy, a bad bitch next to me, ADX team going down up in history. Do it to the death of me, so ain't nothing left of me. Dumping off the weaponry, hold it down for centuries.
Taking this shit head on. In the streets till 6 in the morning. Niggas don't want no ruckus. Tell me who wanted with these shots.
All right, we're back. DFZ Radio. Staying hustling here. Farm to Table Cannabis.
Yeah.
So we got co-host with the Moses, Ms. Nancy in the studio. And everyone, welcome Aloft Magazine.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
So, I mean, it's a different world out there, this changing landscape of cannabis. And your publication talks a lot about it, keeps people educated, and talks about some of the trends. So right out the rip, you know, in the world of media with everyone going online and, you know, the social media the way it is, why publication in print?
It's not in print.
It's still online.
It's completely online. What we're looking to do
kind of like how we call ourselves a radio, but we're only online.
You know what?
Like
Online radio works. No, part of what we've seen is that, and we've talked to a number of people that have been in the industry who have kind of coached us along the way. And what they said is that, you know, print magazines, print titles aren't making any money.
Mm-hmm.
So
a lot of overhead.
Well, and beyond that, they're in a model that doesn't even look at how you engage with people. And what online allows us to do is to actually have a conversation with people. You know, we keep saying spark the conversation, right? That's what we want to do, is have that conversation. And so we consider ourselves, and our mission is to be the Esquire of weed. So we're going to have a conversation with you that's going to entertain you, educate you, inform you.
But be provocative a little at the same time.
Absolutely. We're not going to shy away. I mean, you know, we all grew up on Mad Magazine, and so we're going to have a little bit of that.
I miss Alfred E. Newman.
Right?
I really miss that guy. It's a shame. And I mean, that's another publication that decided to go away after years and years. But
the platform allows us to actually grow and change and really look at, as far as our vision is concerned, is to be a platform that is more of a media company. So there's some great things that are in the offing for us on the next phase of it, and then we got 3 other phases after that. Over the next couple of years, it's just going to blow people's minds.
So with so much subjects out there and so much taboo, and I mean, gosh, as a person online, and you know, you say one thing, or you report on one thing, and the other side gets mad about it. So how do you pick and choose how to lead into this and still keep people interested and not piss half the other people off?
Right.
How do you pick your subjects?
Well, part of it is that we're committed to journalistic integrity. So we take the approach that, there's not only one side to a story. There's always two sides to a story. And so we're trying to be able to give people that part of it. And if they engage in their mind, they make up their own mind. Right?
Makes a lot
So
of
we're
sense.
not looking to try to be evangelico to a degree that
Because you can get
doesn't
preachy
listen.
real quick. It'd be real easy to get preachy.
But you know what? When you have conversations with another human being, you're having a conversation. You're trading ideas. You're joining my universe with your universe, and there's a happy medium somewhere in there where we meet. But
is there any topic or
anything?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
No.
So, I mean, really is when it comes to like the tourism, I've noticed is one of the subjects you guys went on. Are you sending people out in the field for this? Is someone getting actually sent on a tourist detail?
We're working with the Ganja Traveler. His name is Brian Applegarth. And he is up in Northern California. He's very tied into the Emerald Triangle. And we're also in touch with people in other states because Aloft Magazine it's turning out to be global. The audience that's following us is even in London, Germany, Australia.
So you're not bound by the paper that's printed on.
Hell no.
And I mean, that's the one thing too, is a lot of these overseas, they get our old news.
Yeah.
They get our old, what was trending months ago, and
Sure.
it's not because of lack of internet. It's because it's not popular until it gets there.
Right.
And it's a different method of getting there. And
Right.
paper just doesn't do it anymore.
No.
And having access to this, right out the rip.
Yep.
You see the way a lot of other companies and a lot of brands and a lot of media heads take things. How is it that you guys are able to be different than like that all in your face massive advertisement? And what sets you apart?
We're very vigilant about where we stand. We stand for our First Amendment rights to express and celebrate the people who benefit from their consumption of cannabis and hemp products. That's where we stand. So whether it's in music, entertainment, travel, cooking, whatever it may be that they're finding this miracle plant to have all these great uses for, we're going to celebrate that. And so on the digital side of it, we've had our arguments with social media, and we keep just driving it home. It's our First Amendment right. In our statement of responsibility, we tell people we do not we do not promote the consumption of illegal substances from a federal law standpoint, because it's still the law.
Mm-hmm.
What we do is celebrate those people, as I said before, and we promote that if you're going to choose to consume, it's your responsibility, be responsible for it, and just consume responsibly. That's
so what
all.
are your thoughts on this whole vape pen apocalypse thing going on right now? Is this something that is worth paying attention to, or is this something just being drummed up by someone else trying to create a false narrative?
I don't know that there's a false narrative per se. I think that because of the people who pioneered the vape pen and what some people who like to go do bootleg kind of crap. Listen, I come from a bootlegger family, so I know a little bit about it, okay? But that's another story. No, but when you see that, it's like, okay, great. How do we, they're not trying to do anything harmful. They're just trying to make money, okay, on one end. On the other end, they didn't put the time into testing their product, making sure that they go through the entire process of it, and they're using a substance that your body is not designed to actually digest in the form that they use it in.
And I mean, that comes with a lot of the different
So-
ways that they're getting it in. Like you buy inferior product, that's you're going to get inferior
That's a really
ad.
interesting point. I was talking to a man that has a CBD company. He was telling me that a healthy human can only absorb less than 10% of THC unless it wasn't in its raw form. But in its raw form, that you're able to absorb exponentially more in the 90th percentile. Is that true?
Yes, it's true. There's some guys that are working on nanotechnology for CBD to get it so that you actually get the same, if not better, uptake than if you smoke flower. You'll get the same benefit from that CBD or THC mixed with CBD oil. So to me,
I didn't know that.
The beauty of it is the innovation that's happening in this industry. when you look at what people are coming up with.
Yes.
From
very impressive.
Beneficial, get you off of the pharmaceutical drugs, to be able to cook and improve your circulation by what you're using to cook with as opposed to what you've cooked with before. That to me is an evolution of humanity to a certain extent.
Couldn't agree more.
Now, if we can only just learn to love each other and care for each other and accept the differences that we have, then now we're really evolving. But this whole innovation that we're seeing in the cannabis industry, to me, is life-changing.
And not just in the cannabis side of
They were
things.
prescribing me OxyContin when I was very, very sick.
Yeah.
Very, very sick.
And what you needed was some holistic healing.
I swear, CBD and THC saved my life.
Quick short story.
Awesome.
Back in the day, I used to love working on cars, and I had a 1970 2002 Ti BMW that was like for rally racing.
Womp womp. Nice.
So I had it low to the ground, and I used to work on it in my garage. I'm working on it in my garage, had blocks, had 2 jacks on it. I'm working on the transmission, bleeding the clutch. And I'm under there trying to get that damn nipple to open up because it's stuck. It's a car from 1970, and I bought it used, so it hadn't been, serviced like that before, I guess. I don't know. The thing rolls off, bam, I turned my head, and the crankcase landed on my chest.
Oh, my gosh.
But I caught the car with my knees. The initial reaction was boom. You bring your knees up, and so my knees became a jack.
Wow.
My neighbor came out and said, "Car fell down on you?" And I said, "Yeah, man, can you help me with that jack?"
Obviously, right.
So he gets the jack, I get the other one, and there I am with my arm, still holding the car up, dying. And I didn't realize the damage that it did to my neck. Doctor prescribed Norco and Vicodin. So I'm taking muscle relaxers and painkillers. It made me feel stupid. I
couldn't even take the OxyContin.
And in college, I swam in college, so I asked the properties there if they would do me a favor and turn the heat up on the pool so I can go do laps. So what did I do? I got myself some great Sinsemilla red hair, the old school stuff that we used to get, and smoked a little bit of that and went and did 50 laps.
I think the pharmaceutical industry is
took the pain away, the weed did, but the exercise and the focus that I had in doing what I was doing made those muscles that were damaged like this to go normal. I mean, that's
awesome. So you've been an advocate for a while, and
since I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
And you saw the Arthritis Foundation just put out the first foundation that has to do with health has put out an actual guideline on how to use CBD now, and
amazing.
That's like recognizing hey, that there are beneficial properties.
Hell yeah.
But with advertising and then this the health medicine and all that and publications, what is your current outlook for it when you see so much different stuff out there? What's your outlook on the current state of publication and marketing in general? Because there's all these social media influencers. Yeah. There's the paper print still,
and also the lack of integrity.
Integrity.
You've given 2 really great examples of journalistic integrity. It seems to be a cornerstone of what you do.
Right.
Do you have any other examples you want to share?
Well,
because that's what makes you different.
I've become friends with the publisher of The Fresh Toast. If you've ever gotten The Fresh Toast, visit The Fresh Toast. Okay. TheFreshToast.com. JJ McKay is the publisher, and he's been really open with me and sharing ideas and thoughts and things like that. And they're in a certain... he's in the lane. I mean, and they're killing it in their lane. We're in a different lane than they are. And, one of the things that he and I talked about at one point was about my whole thing is how do we create a relationship with you, the consumer? And so really it comes down to engagement. In a magazine, you can't measure engagement. I worked in newspaper for about 9 months as corporate marketing director for a publisher. And one of the things that we were struggling back then was how many newspapers were losing circulation. We did integrated promotions that you had to go get the paper, to go online and get the code to register for this thing that you could win a trip and God knows what all else.
And you can't even reach
But it killed. It really did. We had a 5 or 10% increase in circulation when everybody else, when the LA Times was losing 15% back in the day. So things like that we can do help engage people. If you're going to have content, make sure that your content has integrity with it and don't take any particular position with it. because
How do you stay neutral in this position of
do
black
you-
market
are there
versus
two
white market right
perspectives
now?
per article? How does that work?
on that one, it's a clear line of demarcation. It's out of integrity for the black market stuff.
So it's out.
Really.
It's out of integrity that you would not promote it, or that you
We wouldn't promote it.
wouldn't.
No, we in fact, it's in our advertising policies. You have to be a licensee in order to be on there, and we do have
because
a
I mean, you see
statement of
companies like Weed Maps. They just went full. Hey, fuck
Yeah.
it. We'll advertise black market company, and then they kind of say, oh well, we're gonna purge that, but then they never do. So it's like,
But how big is their audience?
Yeah.
How many millions of people, or billions, I'm not sure, but how many millions of people do they have?
there
And that there's value in that. So as long as it's driving
Absolutely.
value from a purely business standpoint, why would I change that? I apologize. I'll watch out. I'll start, dialing them back, just like, social media dials back certain brands that
But
promote.
you're not willing to risk your integrity for those black
Not
market.
at all.
Well, I
No.
salute you. I salute Aloft for doing it for
Thank
the
you.
right
Yeah.
reason.
So what does Aloft mean? Like, how'd you come up with that name?
So if you've ever read Shakespeare or Socrates, you'll know that Socrates, back in those days of those guys, they were into psychotropics in order to be able to philosophize and look at humanity and be able to make distinctions about humankind. And so Aloft means that you really get high intellectually, and that, try reading Aldous Huxley while you're stoned. Or even the Book of Revelation.
Have you ever read Revelations? Have you ever read Revelations
That
on
is
weed?
terrifying. I've done that.
Fire and brimstone.
Here's the
and
thing.
an 8-headed dragon
Right?
came down from the sky, and it rained blood for 6 months.
That's good.
Yeah. Very nice.
Dogs fucking cats.
I can hear this on Audible.
Right, give me the book.
So we got a couple minutes before we got to go. So your number one thing about the magazine, education and integrity.
Education, information, entertainment.
I love this.
Like I said, we want to be the Esquire of weed.
Now, when it comes to celebrity influence, you guys do interviews with anyone that we would know.
Well, we just did Mike Tyson.
He's a well-known
at the
person. I
beginning of
think
the
I know
month.
that guy.
Yep.
He's,
Nice.
he's what we call stupendous.
Healing the world with pot, not punches.
Exactly. There you go, man. There it is. Wow. That post on Instagram has gotten over 10,000 people that's seen it, and it's driving a lot of traffic to the website.
See, and I mean those are the people that you want to work with, doing it for the freaking community, doing it for the culture. And the last question I got for you before we go and the Heavy Tea Grow Show gets started after us is the what are you gonna do to keep the culture alive? The black market thing. That's for some people that's a big stab for the black market. It hurts the culture. So how do you keep the culture alive in the magazine and online?
Well, like I said, when you buy a bottle of liquor, you're not buying you're buying a particular brand, right? And those brands were built to have a particular integrity, especially when Prohibition ended, because people were still doing bootleg whiskey, and people were dying from drinking that bootleg whiskey. So at some point, when it becomes a health issue, beyond the integrity issue, there's this health issue that you're hurting people, you're hurting human beings, and so that's what we care for, is who we are as a spirit and who we are as a person. And we're going to continue evolving our conversation as people's conversation evolves in this space.
Thank you for addressing the social justice issues.
Yeah.
And shout out to Aloft. You can check them out at aloftmagazine.com.
And you can follow us on Instagram, aloft_magazine.
Aloft_magazine. And you also brought a couple of treats today. You want to give a shout out to them?
Well, no, because actually we want to
They're
shout
black
out.
market. No.
No, it's just I was looking
They're
for. I had
secret.
something at my office in an envelope, and I couldn't get to the envelope because it's just a calamity of things. And so I grabbed this from another bag. But this Ignite pre-roll was actually pretty good. I tried. I'm leaving that for you guys.
Nice.
And this other one that we've been sharing has been from California. California. One of the things that we do is we'll check out a lot of strains for our strain of the month, and we haven't even posted it because it's like we're trying a lot of strains. The weed got to it. Sorry. But we tried this Silver Lotus from California today. I'm completely into sativas. I'm trying to get into indicas now. But I like the brainiac stuff, the stuff
Yeah.
that makes you create stuff and write and
Same here.
We will
come up
gladly
with ideas.
accept your
Yeah.
Brainiac offering. And the thing I want to ask you, is there anyone you want to give a shout out before we take off?
Want to give a shout out to my friends over at Shuggies. And
They were on 2 weeks ago.
Yep. And to my honey bunny at Honey Bunny Stones. Follow her on Instagram at Honey Bunny Stones. You're going to love some really hand-curated painted stones. My buddies at Shuggies are creating sweeteners that are infused with THC. Now you can have your coffee and get the lift, the same kind of lift you would have if you got a glass of wine. You know, if you have a glass of wine, you get a little buzz out of it. Now you can get that out of your coffee without having to smoke or vape or anything.
Dude, a big thank you to Aloft. Thank you for keeping us
Thank you, man.
educated.
Thank
and
you for
a big
having me
thank
here.
you to Babinka. Shout out to Eastside Edibles. And other than that, Miss Nancy, thank you for coming in. Saint, thanks for keeping us sounding good.
Hey, anytime, man. Shout out to everyone
Nice
that
to
listens.
meet you guys, man. I can't wait to come back again.
Likewise.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you. Farm to Table Cannabis every week, Wednesday, DFZ Radio, proudly broadcast on High Times TV. We out.
Stay tuned, DFZRadio.com. We got the Heavy Tea Grow Show coming up next. Make sure you call in and win some free grow gear just for asking a grow question. The phone number is 562-653-0707. 562-653-0707. That was Farm to Table Cannabis with the host, Hydroponic Chef. Tune in every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on DFZRadio.com. Also, live on demand.